Oops, I guess it helps if I add myself to the stream. I think everybody was probably hearing me anyway. Hello. No green screen tonight. I decided to just film the studio. Why not? What's up, Ken? How you doing, buddy? I was on earlier. I just forgot to add myself to the stream. I was doing about 3 things at once and got distracted. Plus, I need to turn the air on because I was doing other things here for the last hour or two and left it off for a while. And I realized it's like 90 degrees in here. So I said, well, I got to turn that thing on for a little while anyway. And it's been raining like crazy. Luckily, the internet went up a little bit anyway. It was really horrible. That's not too great now, but it was way worse. I don't know if we're gonna have recon tonight or not. I don't think he starts the night shift yet. I think it's next week or Monday or something. Hopefully he'll be on tonight. I'm doing okay. I forgot to take my pill tonight. Again. I took it last night and the night before and the night before that, but I did forget tonight. I have to remember to go take it when I go in for my blood pressure. How are you doing? You doing okay, I guess? Yeah, you said okay already. I forgot to do the poll today. I just thought of it earlier before I logged in, before I got this online. I was just thinking I forgot to do that poll about doing live streams during the day. I need to do that. Of course, the last poll I did, only a few people replied to it, so I don't know. Yeah, well, if I felt funny, I'd probably remember to take it, but I wasn't feeling funny today, so I didn't think of it. And I just was busy a lot today. I get too busy. I'm one of these people, and maybe you're not like that, but I really do seriously have 20 things going on in my head at the same time of things I have to do, things I need to do, things or something I forgot to do. I just have so much going on in my head that I just forget. Worrying about trying to get this place going. It's been almost a year now, and I've trying to get things going here a lot more, especially with Recon's going to be not coming on at night too. That's going to be one less we'll have, so that's probably going to hurt some too. What's up, ASC? How you doing? My children don't live with me; they live elsewhere. So, and my wife, I don't know, she just don't remember either. She's old too. She's usually got her face in a book, so she's not thinking of anything but that book. Maybe she has a secret life insurance policy on me that I don't know about. And she's going, kick the bucket, old man. I'll collect. Ha ha. Although she'll have a heck of a job with the camper if I'm gone, because I've been trying to teach her, get her to learn how to do some of this stuff in case something does happen, that she could be able to make sure this stuff is being done, but she has no interest in that at all. Even the unpleasant stuff, like, taking care of the waste products and stuff and whatever. And she has no inclination of doing that. I think the next painting is going to be a waterfall. I've been thinking about what I'm going to do next, and I think I'm going to do a waterfall. Although I'm a little bit tired doing the wet on wet, I should do a traditional painting, but I don't know what I'll be doing with it. Probably be a wet on wet because they are faster, and even though the other one took an hour, I should have edited it more. Every time I cleaned the brush, I should have cut it out. Probably would have saved about 15 minutes of it at least, but I didn't do that. I should have. And I didn't think of it until after I uploaded it. It was already live. And I got thinking, when I saw that it was like 56 minutes, I said, crap, I should have cut out all them times I cleaned the brush. That's the ones that takes a lot longer to do, and they're harder and they're better paintings. So if you're looking at the screen, the painting on your left, well, I'm going to get my finger over there, right there, that's traditional. That's not wet on wet. The one up in the middle here, that's traditional. You can't see the whole thing. And all the ones behind me right there are traditional. They're a lot harder. They're way more detail. They're not wet on wet like Bob Ross does. When you do the leaves there, you paint each one of the leaves separately. You don't paint just a bunch of them with a brush, big brush. You do them all separate. There's more detail, more 3D look, more realism. Like if you're doing a portrait's not wet on wet. It's realism. It's traditional painting, which take a lot longer to do. And they're better, and they really are better, and they bring more money because the quality's way better. I get way more for traditional painting than a wet on wet, like Bob Ross does. I get way more for traditional. And then I do some that are knife only, just use a knife only. And those are a bit pricier too, because they take longer, they take more paint, they're a bit harder to do. They're actually impressionism, basically. So how you doing tonight, ASD? You working on video? You like the traditional painting, Ken? I do too. I do like it better than I do Bob Ross's style, because, and it's not because I don't like Bob Ross, because I do. I just think there's a place for Bob Ross's paintings. I think it's a good place to start. And in fact, when I talked about doing this painting channel, I wasn't going to do the wet on wet at all, because it's such a quick process, really, and it's really, something kind of quick. And but I got thinking about it, and then I decided, you know what? I started doing, well, actually I did do some pictures before I started the wet on wet. I really did, but I even did some stuff in the pastel. But I got thinking, I probably wouldn't be doing traditional if it wasn't for Wet on Wet, Bob Ross and Bill Alexander and Buck Polson and a few others, because they got me way more interested in painting than I really was. And it's a good foundation for learning um, the size of your canvas, the mediums, the different paint, quality of paint, learning what the brushes are, what they're called, how the brushes are used, what you can do with a brush. You get a lot of practice using brushes, even big brushes, which most traditional painters never use. They don't use them big 2-inch brushes or 4-inch brushes or any of that stuff. They use smaller brushes. Probably the biggest brush you'd use would be a flat 1-inch brush, maybe, but doubtful. Usually probably like a 3/4, half-inch. But I got thinking that it was a good foundation and it's a good way to get people to learn how to paint. And once they could paint a painting, even if it is wet on wet, they would be inspired enough to continue, but know themselves once they've kind of mastered that technique to move on. Use it for a stepping stone. And that's what I think is the best thing. I think Bob Ross probably really intended that too, to show people and build their confidence that they can do it. And then they can move on to better painting quality, better painting styles, or and develop their own style of painting. And I think that's really what Bob Ross really wanted to project to people, wanted them to have confidence and patience and be willing to learn. And foremost, prove to people like you that you can do it. Even though you say you can't draw a straight line or anything else, but to prove that you can do it. It's just a matter of wanting to do it and practice. And that's all it is. So then you move on to traditional painting. She probably did. I wouldn't be surprised at all. The Mona Lisa took a long time for Da Vinci to paint. I told you this before. There's over 100 and something coats of paint on that picture, really thin coats of glaze. Da Vinci did glazing on that painting, a little bit at a time. Back then, the artists, their quality of paint really wasn't as good as it is today. Although they did have a lot of natural herbs and stuff, and their ingredients were all natural, and they had to mix every color themselves. What's up, Ray Khan? How you doing, buddy? Remind me, did you say as of this coming Monday you'll be working your day shift? Alrighty, play with the baby. But anyway, okay, ASD, no problem. So anyway, Ken, and Bill Alexander was the same as Bob Ross. I mean, Bill Alexander actually started Wet on Wet. Bob Ross trained and learned from Bill Alexander, William Alexander, and worked with him, and then mastered his technique. And then he went on his own and added to his technique. Yeah, we sure are gonna miss you, Recon. Maybe I didn't put that poll out today, but watch for that poll for the. I'm thinking seriously about doing the live, at least a couple times a week or so, during the day, which maybe you'll be able to catch. Maybe not. I don't know. Hopefully so. We'll get to hit that like button, guys. You guys try to remember if you can, even these lives, it's nice if you guys can leave a comment, even if it's Kim, you were awful tonight, or your stream sucks, or something, anything, whatever. Just your hair's a mess. You need a haircut. Whatever. Anything. Because with the comments, as I'm finding out, YouTube, when it picks up comments, it helps to promote the channel. They put it out there more if they see comments and stuff too. It all goes in together. They need to write a damn book from YouTube. They need to write a book to explain all this crap, so people that are creators don't have to find out the hard way. And let us know, what affects the whole thing, the scope of the whole channel. I mean, I did know that comments did matter, but I just didn't think about the lives. I mean, I just checked earlier, and we've already done over 450 videos at least, with all the lives every day, almost a year now, plus all the videos from painting and whatever. Yeah, there's like 450, somewhere in that area. It doesn't give me an exact count, but somewhere close to that. It's a lot of videos. And they're not being promoted that much, and that's probably one of the reasons why. It might help draw some people in here too, that way. Well, I'm getting rid of my 12-string guitar tomorrow, my Taylor, that I just got not too long ago. I decided that I'm going to trade it to a guy that has another Taylor, which actually costs twice as much as mine, but he wants a 12-string so bad that I decided to go ahead and trade him, because my hands hurt so much from carpal tunnel and whatever, which I guess you can get surgery done on them to help, but they hurt me a lot when I play the 12-string. I can't get the bar chords on it at all. It just hurts my hands too much. So I'm going to trade him for a 6-string that I can actually play, but actually is worth twice as much. So I'm getting the way better end of the deal, which is fine with me. And plus, my son, when he comes over once in a while, he likes to play with me. So, and I'll have two Taylors to play. Yeah, that's a lot of videos. It's way more than I thought there was. For some reason, I just didn't think about it. And I got thinking about it, and I said, well, I guess that's probably right. It's been almost a year now. 356 days in a year. Very few days that we missed. Then on top of that, all of the uploads, all the other paintings I did, a lot of them paintings had 4 parts. That's a video, You're talking 4 videos for each painting that I put up. In fact, the one I just did, I probably should have put it in 2 parts, but I didn't think it was that big. 56 minutes is quite a ways, but of course you can always stop. If you go back to it, it'll actually continue where you left off. As long as you started watching it, if you watched half of it, you go back to it, normally it'll pick up where you left off. YouTube will do that. Maybe they don't do it all the time, but they usually will. Or you can mouse over wherever it is and get the number, write the number down, go back, slide over to that number, and continue on. Welcome, whoever just came in. I know there's somebody else is in here, I think, maybe not. My wife is logged in, I'm on, so maybe counting all of us. Maybe it is count. I guess there is everybody. 4 is right. 3 of you plus my wife. That's 4. So I guess it's correct. For a change. My coffee's getting cold again. Dang it. I normally put it on the right side because the air conditioner blows right over here, right where that cup usually is. So I try to move it so it doesn't get cold so fast. But I forgot. I turned the air on. It wasn't on earlier, so that got me. Maybe Yvette will be coming on. Maybe I think the last time she was on around 11. Must be when she's coming back from work or something. Maybe I don't remember what she does, but a lot of times that's when it was later when she came in, about halfway through the video or the live we were doing. And I ain't seen Minnie in a while. That old sneaky woman, I tell you what, she's probably in here now, sneaking around, hiding behind a rock, spying on us. Oh, of course I will. Of course I will. I'd never get one without checking it first. I would definitely play it and check it out. But you can bet the guy that owns it took care of it. He's an older gentleman. He's about 68 years old, a musician. We took pictures of the guitar itself. It was in he has like his own little studio too. I could tell by the whole room that he took really good care of his equipment. And the guitar didn't have a scratch on it. So I'm sure it'll be fine. And Taylor's is one of the best. I'm not one of these guys that'll just go buy something without checking it out. Guarantee you that. I don't care what it is. I check it out. Whether it's a car or truck or power tool or lawnmower, whatever, anything, I will check it out first, always. I've bought a lot of guitars in my days, lots of them. So I know guitars pretty well. I didn't think about it, but when we got the RV, there was a little white microwave in there. We took it out, and I should have thought of that and put it in my studio here. Instead, I gave it to my granddaughter. Now, I should kick myself in the ass because I should have kept it. Because it's a real small one, a little small white one. Not very big. Would have been perfect. Of course, I don't have a lot of room in here, but I could have made room for it someplace to microwave the coffee. But like I said, I used to have one of them little. It's a square thing like that with a round disc on it. You could actually plug it in, and it had a little dial on it. You could turn it up or down, whatever. And it was actually a coffee cup warmer. You put it under your coffee cup, and it kept your coffee hot. I can't find it. Somebody gave it to me for Christmas, I think, once, or my birthday. Can't find it because I didn't use it at the time. I just never used it. Because back when I had the other studio, I had a coffee pot. It kept it hot, so I never had a use for it. And at one time, I actually did have a microwave out there. But one of my kids' microwave broke down, so I gave him that one. So we're showing 5 in here now. Hello, fifth person, whoever came in. Welcome to the channel. I kind of wanted to trade it for a Martin guitar. A guy offered me a trade, but he only wanted my amp to go with it. His guitar wasn't worth more than mine. I looked it up. So I said, no, I'm not giving my amp too. Your guitar's just worth mine, if that. And I'm certainly not giving you my amp to go with it. So I just discontinued that conversation. Some people always think they have something way better than you do, even though you can look up the value of stuff. That's why it's important when you're dealing with guitars. You get the model number, the make, the model, the serial number. You can look them up. You can look up the value. You look at the pictures they send you, look at the condition, and then you can make a judgment call from there. Because I'm no fool. That's for sure. And tomorrow when I go to trade that guy for this one, I'll go over it with a fine-tooth comb. I'll bring a pick with me. I'll play it. I'll go over the whole thing. I'll look at that thing like a microscope. But I'm not too concerned because Taylors are very well made. The construction on them are absolutely exquisite. Oh, look at here. I welcomed the 5th person here, and they left already. I scared them away, I guess. Maybe they wanted to see if we was talking about painting. Because I recently, over the last week or so, I actually got 6 more subscribers that I got from Facebook. Beginner painters that I told how to get here. Welcome back, AST. I guess I got to turn that AC down. It's getting a bit chilly now. Yeah, I didn't even bring a snack out tonight. Dang it. Yeah, lately more so than not, they try to get over on you. You gotta watch people. You just can't assume everybody's going to be good and great and be honest with you. My nose itches. But I can still smell the thinner from the other day. I probably should have left the door open earlier today and let it air out. But every time I do that, I get flies or bugs in here that I don't want in here. So I refrain from doing it. Figure, well, maybe the smell from the mineral spirits will kill him. Although I do put the fan on over here and just suck fresh air in. Excuse me. ASD's cooking again. Well, I guess he's done cooking. He must be eating now. Which reminds me, I've got to go do some shopping tomorrow. That baby's got you wrapped around his little finger, don't he, Recon? Yep. But that's a good thing. When Ezra, my grandson, comes over here, I can't help but get down there and play with him for a while and play peekaboo with him. And if I had him dancing today to some music, he's not even a year old yet. Got him, and his Jenny, which is his grandmother, she couldn't get him to dance very much because she'd like to play some of the stuff that she liked, I guess, and he didn't like it. Little bugger likes rock and roll. Play some rock and roll, he could get right into it. Even some of the older rock and roll. I could, but it'd be a bit difficult doing it because it's not much room here, and it would cost too much really right now. He's spoiled. Yeah, I'm sure he is spoiled. You just think he's keeping you young because you're getting old. You just don't know it. It's going to hit you one day real soon. That old's going to slap you right in the face. You're going to wake up one morning and go, oh my God. Yesterday I was 17. What happened? I do that all the time. I mean, I'm 65, and sometimes I'm sitting in a chair and I'm going, just like it seemed like it was a year or two ago I was 17. Where the hell did the time go? I mean, heck, when my wife and I got married, by the time we had Jennifer and Mark, the two oldest, I was like 23, 24, something like that. And I told my wife, I says, it seemed like every year would just drag on. I'm like, I'll never make it till 30. That's like forever. 30's forever away. I'll be dead by then. I get to 30, my wife goes, no, 31. She goes, hey, you're still alive. And she does that once in a while. She goes, you're 60, whatever. You're still alive. You're making kinetic popsicle sticks, huh? Whatever floats your boat. I don't know what kinetic popsicle sticks are. It scares me to think about it. How many of you, of course, I'm a lot older than you guys are, but how many of you, when you were young, little kids, toddler up to, 10, 12 years old, How many of you had their mothers, because we were poor, and she would take an ice cube tray and make Kool-Aid, pour the Kool-Aid in the ice cream tray, and put little sticks inside each of the little ice cube parts. And that's how she made us the equivalent to Cool Pops. That was our ice cream, Cool Pops. Yes, the Cool Pops like that. You remember those two? I'm glad I'm not the only one that remembers that. In fact, when I was up north, ASD might remember this because he was from Massachusetts. He'd been to Massachusetts. But when I was a kid in New Hampshire, in the wintertime, when we wanted ice cream, of course, back then there wasn't as much pollution as there is now, but it was nice and clean, and fresh air in New Hampshire was fresh air. And when we get fresh snow, my mother would get this big bowl or a bucket and go out and get fresh snow. She'd bring it in the house. She'd add sugar and vanilla, maybe a food coloring or something, or whatever, and mix it all up, and she'd make snow ice cream. It was fabulous. It was great. It was good stuff. It was kind of like a slushy, actually, but it was great. We loved it. So there you go. See, ASD probably, I bet ASD's mother did the same thing. She made ice cream out of snow. Well, you'll surprise your nephews then, won't you, ASD? I'm sure they'll be delighted when you show up. Well, it wasn't called snow cone where I was from. It was like a snow cone, but when my mother used vanilla, if you use vanilla in milk and food coloring, you could make regular ice cream out of it. You could, because she'd make vanilla ice cream right out of the snow. She mixed it up real fast and whatever, and it wasn't like an icy. She made ices too, but she couldn't make regular ice cream out of snow. It wasn't exact, but it was dang close. Yeah, I mean, up north, people did things like that to get by, you know. Down south they do somewhat, but not the same as up north. Up north it was different. Yeah, you better get that pool cover, Recon. Won't be long. My mother finally bought some things at the department store. Those long tube things like that they had like a cover with a handle on them and had a stick that was plastic that went down inside. Then she'd fill them up with Kool-Aid, and it was like a regular popsicle, you know, but big, round, and long. But those were even better than the ice cube ones. Of course, there's more of it. And my mother baked a lot. Most women don't do that anymore. But of course, you know, a lot of women, they hold jobs now. Most of the time when I was a kid, most women stayed home. They were homemakers. Now they have jobs. Although my mother did have a job because she was actually a nurse back then. But she still did all that. She still baked. I don't know if any of you guys know what a whoopie pie is. ASD might, because he's from Massachusetts, but my mother made the best damn whoopie pies there was. And what it is, like a round chocolate cake, top, bottom, and made whipped cream that goes in the middle of it. And my mother used to make them all the time. She'd freeze them. She'd make so many, she'd freeze them. My mother, we had a big freezer. My mother baked and put stuff in the freezer all the time. Made her own bread a lot, made cookies. When us kids went to school for probably most of grade school, my mother rarely ever bought boxes of like the oatmeal cookies or ding dongs or Twinkies or whatever, stuff like that. My mother made most everything from scratch. Cookies, cake, whatever. Whatever we got in our lunchbox, my mother usually made it. Very rarely did she buy anything that went in our lunchbox. To this day, I don't like bologna sandwiches anymore. And I'm not real hip on the peanut butter and jelly anymore either. Yep, cookie bars. Yeah. My mother used to make jams and jellies, and when we lived in New Hampshire, there was apple trees everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Any kind of apple you can imagine. And I'd go pick apples when they were ripe. We would get giant basketfuls of apples. My mother would make applesauce. She'd can it, applesauce, whole shelf of it. She'd make all the apples. She'd cook up ahead of time for like apple pies, and then she'd make apple pies, and she'd make whatever she apples. Blueberries, same thing. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, all the berries. She did all that. Strawberries, made all of her own jams and jellies. Pickles. She made the best dill pickles. So did my aunt. My aunt made even better ones. The dill pickles my aunt made on the farm, those things were so sour they'd make you frown for a day. Like that. I mean, they were just sour as can be. But us kids loved them. To the point of my cousin and I, we used to steal them from the cellar where the pantry was. We'd eat them out at the barn while we was feeding the cows and the horses and whatever. I was amazed at some of the stuff that my mother used to come up with. But back then we had, we heated. I think we had. I think we actually had a wood stove back then too. My aunt and uncle did too. They had a big giant stove in the kitchen. I think it was huge. Now, I mean, I'll eat bologna once in a while if I really have to, but I certainly don't crave it. Now, if we made subs or something like that, I'd put bologna and salami and ham and turkey and whatever all on it. I'm fine with that, but I'm not real crazy about bologna sandwiches anymore. I'll smother that sucker with bread and butter pickles. Then I don't taste it. Like I said, we were poor, and that's what we got. And it wasn't because my father didn't work, because most of my life when I was a kid, I remember my father worked 3 jobs, and 2 of them were full time. We didn't see him very often. Yeah, I'm not crazy about bologna anymore either. I'm getting so I don't even like ham very much anymore. Because for quite a while with the group home, I mean, We got ham all the time. I just kind of got sick of it. Now, real ham, like, a ham roast or whatever, a ham, regular ham, that's different. But the store bought sliced ham, not so crazy about it anyway. I'd rather have pastrami or something like that. Pastrami, I like pastrami a lot. Corned beef. You never knew your father? Well, my mother and my real father were divorced when I was very young, and I didn't see him until I was 20 or 21 years old. So I kind of know how that feeling was until that point, anyway, because I didn't see him anymore. And my grandparents on my father's side, we were the only grandchildren they had. They didn't get to see us until until I was like 20. Well, I mean, I'll eat ham with sandwiches, but I'm not real thrilled about them anymore. Now, if I have some extra sharp cheese to put with it and some bread and butter pickles, I'm okay with it. Not so bad. Or even if I got some lettuce and tomato to put on it, not so bad. I like tuna sandwiches, but I like to chop up a bunch of lettuce and tomato and onions and put it in with the tuna fish and make a sandwich out of that. Tuna salad sandwich. I love them. I can eat them whenever. And my kids like them that way too. Of course, they're more nutritious. So I got a canvas up here. Probably going to be doing a waterfall scene. Not 100% sure yet, but I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll see. I may change my mind, but maybe. Like I said, I don't mind ham as long as it's with other things. Now, turkey, I love turkey sandwiches. Real turkey, oh yeah. I love turkey sandwiches. Thanksgiving time, Christmas, a lot of times we'll have turkey too. And nothing I like better than a turkey sandwich with some stuffing on it, a little bit of cranberry sauce, mayonnaise. Ah, that's getting me hungry just thinking about it. I like this. I like them sandwiches better than I like the whole dang turkey dinner. And I like the turkey dinner plenty, but I like the sandwiches even better. But we used to cook a ham for Thanksgiving too, mostly because when my parents were alive, we'd have company, and one of our relatives, for some unknown reason, had to have a damn ham. So my mother and father would talk me into making a ham along with two turkeys. I'm like, there's only one person that really wants that damn ham. Ah, ridiculous. Oh, I like turkey, plenty. Now, I can tell you I probably wouldn't like it every day, but for the holidays, yes. After 2 or 3 days of the sandwiches, I'm pretty much done with the turkey for a while. But I do like it a lot. And that's probably why, because I don't have it all the time. It's a rare thing to have. Probably one of my favorite sandwiches is pastrami. And Probably corned beef. I did do a video or two with a traditional painting, but it was with acrylic. Evidently, you missed it. Actually, I think there's several videos that's traditional. In fact, the portrait I did of my granddaughter, the princess one, that's traditional painting. So you don't like the leftover turkey, huh? I think it tastes better after it's been in the refrigerator and it's cold. It's like spaghetti. You know, I like spaghetti just fine, but I like spaghetti better after you've had the leftover spaghetti and you got a lot left over, which a lot of people do, and it's in the refrigerator, and the next day when you warm up the spaghetti, it's always better. It's just always better. Anybody else agree with that? I mean, I think it's always better. That or macaroni, chop suey they call it. That's what we call it, which is like spaghetti but with macaroni. It's always better the next day. It's a terrible thing. We're talking about food, and I'm getting hungrier again. And the corned beef is, I like it. Reuben's. I like Reuben's the best. A Reuben is probably my favorite sandwich. I never used to be an Arby's fan, ever, ever, until one day I went into Dairy Queen, and Arby's was right there beside them. They're kind of in the same place, same area, same building. And I was really hungry. I don't like I like Dairy Queen's ice cream just fine. It's great, but I don't like the food they serve. So I went to Arby's, and I was actually just going to get a ham and cheese sandwich, even though I'm not crazy about the ham. And I saw they had Reuben's, my favorite. And I'm like, I got to try one. So I got a Reuben there, and they were fantastic. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I wouldn't even go to a damn Arby's, and all of a sudden I'm finding out they got my favorite sandwich, and it tastes fantastic. All these years I've been avoiding Arby's. I could have been having my favorite sandwich there, and I just didn't know they had them. Terrible. It's like Subway. Once in a great while, if you guys go to Subway, they have the special pastrami sub. When I find out they having pastrami subs, I'm there. Beef and cheddar. My wife has had that beef and cheddar. Isn't it called steak and cheese or something? Not beef and cheddar. Well, that's good. You just keep watching them ads. I'm actually surprised that they played the ad again. Usually they don't. Unless you skipped it the first time, then they might pull it up there. My wife likes steak and cheese. Even at Subway, she liked the steak and cheese. But I think they stopped doing the steak and cheese, so she has to get the regular Philly and cheese. Well, I don't know if you like Reubens, but you need to try one of them at Recon at Arby's. They get the best Reubens. They're incredible. I love them. My mouth is watering right now just thinking about it. Just thinking about one, my mouth is watering. They're so good. And stop accidentally exiting. What's wrong with you? Cuckoo in the cabanza? Yeah, I wonder why it went down to 3. I guess that's why it went down to 3, because you exited and had to come back in. We got 0.65 download tonight, 0.98 upload. I'm gonna check it again. That was a while ago I checked it. I just now looked at it. I'm like, holy crap, that's high for upload for us. We usually don't get that damn lucky. Ping is down, no, 620. It's usually about 660 or 670. Woo. Oh, no, download is not really going up much. Download is 0.67. Let's see if the upload's still up there. Holy crap. That's way up. The upload is smoking. That never happens. 3.29 megabits per second upload. That's phenomenal for me, for here. That's phenomenal. Incredible. With an upload like that, normally I would get about a 15 megabits per second download, way higher. Man, we'd have had it would have been outstanding. You could have probably increased up to 720p with no problem. Or 1080 even, maybe. I don't know. My wife loves Chinese food. Just loves it. I don't care for it that much. I like the egg rolls okay, and the fried shrimp if they have it. Nothing that's the real Chinese stuff. I don't like rice much at all. If I get rice there, guess what it gets? It gets a lot of sweet and sour sauce dumped on top of it. The beef teriyaki, I can handle that. The noodles, I absolutely hate. Hate them. I hate them noodles with a passion. Can't stand them. They taste like somebody's goddamn socks. They're horrible. Don't like them. And I've tasted them from many different places. Never liked them at all. Ever. My wife loves them. So my menu is kind of limited. Now I'll eat the beef. They have the beef strips with broccoli, shredded carrots and onions, whatever. I'll eat that. They do have some fried potatoes, which are like big chunks, fried big chunks. They have the skins, so I'm not real crazy about the skins being on them when they're fried like that, but I eat them anyway. Now the fried pork I like okay, which as long as I got sweet and sour sauce, I'll eat the fried pork. And the chicken, the fried chicken, with the sweet and sour sauce, that's okay. But a lot of the stuff that she likes, yuck, don't like it. But being the good, fantastic husband I am and the caring individual I am for her, a lot of times I'll go to Subway and she'll agree to get a sub, and I'll go next door to the Chinese place and I'll buy her a takeout Chinese food and bring it home to her when she's not even expecting it. Just because I'm such a great guy. And then I get the sub. Of course, when I walk in the door and she sees the big to-go thing from the Chinese place, she's like, Ooh. Okay, take care, ASD. I'm getting ready to shut it right down here now anyway. So have a good night, bud. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow night. All right, Recon Ken, y'all got me really hungry, so now I gotta go find some food. Thanks a lot. So I hope there's something besides ham sandwiches in the house. I don't know. All right, guys, we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Recon Ken, have a good night. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see y'all tomorrow night. Take care, guys.